Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our HCPS Career Conversation Series. We are really excited to get this program jump-started this week, and we have a number of great business partners with us here throughout the week to share information with you all about important tips for job interviewing, important tips for students going into the workforce now and even after high school. And then also our business partners are going to share some more personal information as well as far as their unique career pathway, how they got to where they are, and then maybe even a little information about their company and what makes it so special and unique. So with that, we are going to just jump right in and get started. Our first business partner with us here this week is Bethany Painter. Ms. Painter is the Executive Director of Human Resources for Chick-fil-A. So Ms. Painter, I am just going to jump right into our first part of the program today, which is to just have you share a little bit more about you. So with that, let me just kind of move forward here in our slides. If you could, Ms. Painter, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role there at Chick-fil-A, and then also a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Of course, and thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. So like Ms. Edwards said, my name is Bethany Painter. I am the Executive Director of Human Resources for a couple of your local Chick-fil-A franchises in the Glen Allen and Ashland area. And I am so excited to be able to share just a little bit about what we get to do every day. And so human resources is just a really fancy way to say that I get to interact with my team every single day, from the point of going out, meeting students just like yourselves and being able to talk about different opportunities that Chick-fil-A has to support, to coach, to train throughout the entire journey at Chick-fil-A. And then if and when the tenure at Chick-fil-A comes to an end, my goal is just to cheerlead you on into your next chapter of your career. And so what led me to Chick-fil-A was certainly not a clear path. I have a background in human resources and worked for a theme park company in the Chicago area, and absolutely loved what I had the opportunity to do, and decided that it was time to be able to move out of the Midwest and back towards the East Coast, which brought me to the Virginia area. Absolutely love the area that we are in. And so about 7 years ago, I was looking for a part-time job, and figured once I found a part-time job, it would allow those doors to open up a little bit easier back into corporate America, into human resources. And I found a role within Chick-fil-A. It was part-time, and I had told myself never food service. And something about Chick-fil-A, though, we know the brand and love what Chick-fil-A is able to represent with just amazing customer service with an amazing product to back it. And so starting off part-time, I fell in love with Chick-fil-A and moved into a leadership role. I then chose to actually remain on in a very part-time recruiting way, where I also was working in the restaurant part-time. And then from there, really doors have just continued to open, allowing me to move into my current role as the Executive Director of Human Resources. And I get to impact people's lives every day. And that is something that I absolutely love about my job, that I get to share a company that I think is very unique in the principles for caring for people, but is also a company that is widely known throughout the US for its branding. And so I'm really excited to just talk a little bit more today about some of the opportunities that Chick-fil-A has, and some of the ways as you're looking and thinking about how can I get my foot in the door with Chick-fil-A, what that could look like for you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Painter. We appreciate you sharing that. And now we're going to just kind of take it a step further, if we can get our slides moving here. And we just would like you to, if you could answer some of these questions for us and share some important information with our students as they start to think about the workforce, their career pathways, and kind of just different career opportunities that they wish to explore.
Absolutely. And these are three really great questions to begin that platform of conversation. So very excited to dive into each of these. So the first one being, what personality traits are important to be successful in a job or career? And I'm going to speak to this specifically to Chick-fil-A. However, most of what I'm going to be sharing today is very applicable to any career path that you choose. And for us, the first thing that we are looking for is someone who's a servant leader. And that may sound like a very strange phrase to say is looking for a servant leader. And that's simply by saying, hey, I'm going to lead by example by serving my team. So, a great example of this is very early on in my Chick-fil-A career. And one of those things that made me say, this is a little bit different for a company was I was sitting in our dining room, had just finished my breakfast on my break. And our franchisee, the gentleman who owns our Chick-fil-A location, walked over to me and said, may I take your trash? And he cleared my place setting. That's not something that in corporate America I had ever become accustomed to. It was always, how can I serve my leaders? Not how can my leaders help to serve me or come beside me to be successful and to lead by example. And so for me, that emulated a perfect example of what servant leadership was, is that he didn't send someone else over and say, hey, Bethany has a dirty tray, please go clean that off. No, he came through and he did it himself. That was a really remarkable opportunity to see that. Additional personality traits that are really important is just basic communication skills. Are you able to talk while making eye contact? Are you able to listen and receive the instructions? And certainly, we are also looking for someone who can show those times of having teamwork or working together with someone to reach a common goal. We are a team centric location. We are seeing thousands of guests every single day, which is a great blessing. But that also means that we have to collaborate and work together. And so, being able to bring those examples to the table is extremely beneficial within that. And just other genuine personality traits is just being kind and being genuine, and just showing everyone the same levels of respect, and just the care for humanity and taking care of one another. The next question that we have here is what's asking you as a student to make a positive first impression, both on your resume and on your job interview. So let me lead first with the resume. A resume, if you are going through a job board, that is the very first view that anyone has of you, of your work, and what you will represent. If you come through with a resume that has typos on it, commas that are in the incorrect placement, if you do not have your full contact information in there, or your email address is something that's very far from unprofessional, that is going to be things that could allow a interviewer to look at that and say, this may not be a person that I even want to begin a conversation with. So certainly going through using a great format to build your resume, having someone who's really good with checking for grammatical errors and spelling to be able to review that, and making sure the information that you're providing is complete and gives a really good view into who you are and just some of those little things that make you very unique. Now, as a student, you may not have job experience in the past, and that's okay too. Interviewers, recruiters, those of us who are looking at those resumes, we understand that you may not have a lot of job or career examples to put on your resume. What we would look for in those situations are, how have you been able to do things that are outside of your comfort zone? Are you involved in extracurriculars through your school? Do you babysit? Do you spend your weekends earning a little extra money cutting and mowing lawns, or doing some work with a family business or with a friend's family? Those are the type of things that you can also add onto your resume that shows, hey, not only do I want this job, but I have some proven results of where I have been able to be involved and being self-motivated in that. And certainly during a job interview, now is your time that you're shining. There's so many times in life that, we're taught, do not brag. A job interview is quite the opposite. A job interview is your time that you get to be boastful about yourself, your accomplishments, and what really makes you unique and stand out as an individual. Chick-fil-A, like many other employers, we are looking for someone who says, you know what, I'm here. Here's some great examples of who I am, and here I can share my story. But we're also going to ask those challenging questions about, tell me about a time that you failed. I want to hear about those failures, because we strongly believe that, yes, we are going to fail. I fail all the time. Every single one of us has opportunities where we come short of expectations, whether it's on a grade in school or a sports activity, or maybe it's a previous employment opportunity. But what we also are looking for in that is, what have you learned from that, and how can we overcome that mistake? So putting your best foot forward and sharing that story, don't ever shy away from the truth. We certainly just want to get to know you and what's going to make you so unique and what you can bring to the table that maybe no one else can, because of maybe the successes, or maybe a time that you experienced failure and how you were able to overcome that. Lastly, growth opportunities within the company. I think my story is one that I love to share, just simply because I looked at Chick-fil-A originally as a place that I would be taking an order, learning to say my pleasure, asking people if they wanted to make their fries large or if they wanted extra ice in their sweet tea or refilling their beverages. But what I found when I opened up that door, it is not just a chicken company. Chicken is absolutely our means, and we sell an amazing chicken product, I personally believe, but we're a leadership company. Our goal is to challenge each and every member of our team to be able to do more, to do better, to be able to grow. And so within Chick-fil-A's, it's mapped out differently. For our location, we have it clearly mapped of a checklist saying, hey, here's the basic competencies that we want you to be able to know, to understand, and not only to be able just to know and understand, but are you at the ability level to be able to teach others how to do these tasks within the restaurant? And showing me examples of times that you yourself have been a servant leader to those that are involved in the restaurant. And so those are very simple ways that we look at who is ready for those next steps within the restaurant. What is your heart? And are you able to carry out the mission that Chick-fil-A has set forth, just to empower people, impact lives, and just to deliver an incredible product? So thank you so much for sharing with me some time this morning, and certainly look forward to seeing you and talking through. If you have any further questions, you are always welcome to reach out to us at your local Chick-fil-A, and we would love to explore some more career opportunities with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Painter. This was fantastic information for our students, for our families, for our staff. We really appreciate it. And we hope you know and want you to know how much we appreciate all that you and Chick-fil-A does for our students and our schools. And just thank you so much for being one of our just most valued business partners. And we greatly appreciate all that you do. And we will be staying in touch throughout the remainder of this school year and certainly into next school year. So thank you again.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.